welcome to Stockholm and Sweden. Sweden is shouldering the EU presidency as the critical time for our union. We're facing one of the most severe security environments since the end of the Second World War. As you're well aware of the Swedish priorities, of course, so the top priority is supporting Ukraine. The other priority for us is partnership. The informal defense meetings that's taking place today, I think, very much reflects the Swedish priorities. We are going to have our first session. We're going to be focusing on supporting Ukraine. We're very honored that we're joined by Ukrainian Defense Minister Resnikov at this meeting. We're also going to take stock into our training mission, EU MAM Ukraine, which is being conducted in Poland and in Germany, and also have the commanders from those two missions being present in the room. As our ambition is to train up to 30,000 Ukrainian soldiers by the end of 2023. The second session also is going to focusing on EU-NATO cooperation and EU-UN cooperation. And we're honored, of course, to have Secretary General Stoltenberg from NATO with us, but also Under-Secretary General for Peace Operations in the UN, Lacroix, who's going to be attending that. That's very important also to further develop EU's partnership with both NATO and the EU. So that's going to be some of the main focus. As you also know, there's also been a proposal launched when it comes to joint procurement in different ways for ammunition for Ukraine. And here's the Swedish approach is that we should have an effective and pragmatic approach and try to reach as much consensus as we can on this meeting. And then at our so-called jumbo meetings on the 20th and 21st of March, I hope that we can take the decision even further. But I stop there. Any question? What I think is really crucial is two things. The Ukrainians direly need ammunition in order to continue this war. And the other aspect of it is that we have to ramp up production in Europe. There's various ways to go about this. There some talk about the EDA. I think it's very important that the European Defence Agency has a coordinating role. There's also been proposals launched by having a few lead agencies within the EU. And here you could have certain lead agencies taking a regional approach to procuring. But I think thinking in terms of security supply and strengthening the European defence industrial base is really crucial.
How does the Swedish government react on the reports about the Nord Stream that maybe was in Ukraine?
I have no comments on that. As you might know, there is an inquiry being conducted by a prosecutor in cooperation with the Swedish Security Service, and I want to have that inquiry to continue its process. And after that, we can comment on the matter. In regards to Nord Stream, not specifically Nord Stream, no.
Have you received any guarantees or reassurances from the Ukrainian side that they weren't linked to the project?
We haven't been discussing this at all. What we've been focusing, we had the honor of having Minister Resnikov yesterday at our meeting, and then we discussed how we can focus on supporting Ukraine in various ways, being training missions, being procurement of ammunition, or of course, deliveries of more arms to Ukraine. So that's been the main focus of the dinner yesterday.
Minister, on joint procurement, does Sweden want to take part in such an initiative, and how much money do you think is required to give the Ukrainians the ammunition that they need?
Well, I think it's to have a pragmatic and effective way and to be sure that the EU and our member states can deliver as quick as possible. Sweden possibly could take a regional responsibility in having a lead agency, but I support any measures that can make us act effectively and swiftly, and I want to be as pragmatic as possible.
Does that include sourcing ammunition from non-EU sources?
Yeah, I think that the primary objective, of course, is to have the European industrial base to procure from that. But if there are other deliveries from other states, I don't think we should exclude that possibility. I think the focus should be on helping Ukraine and finding a best way to accomplish that. I think that is the intention of this meeting, is to galvanize as much consensus as we can in order to take the meeting forward at their so-called jumbo meeting between the foreign ministers and the defense ministers on the 20th and 21st of March. Mats?
In the future, in the long run, should EDA or EDA or the countries sort of stand for the long run the way to get the ammunition to Ukraine? the 4 billion that Estonia proposed?
Yeah. What I think is if you want to move swiftly, I think that you have to think which agencies have good security supply agreements with the defense industrial base. I think you better have those frameworks into place. And right now, I think maybe in the short term, I think that the national authorities might have been more adapted to handling this if we want to move quickly. Then of course, we all know that we want to do more common procurement and more defense cooperation in the future in various ways.
Isn't this coming too late? I mean, there were warnings already in October last year that Ukraine ran out of ammunition.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, when I look at the contributions that we do for supporting Ukraine, I, of course, attend the Ramstein format. We're very much scaling up our ambitions right now. We're about to build both battalions and brigades. In the start of the war, we were sending RPGs and lighter weapons. I think the trajectory is on stepping up support for Ukraine. I think those countries who also deliver artillery platforms, they should also think in terms of providing them with ammunition. And I know that we're also in the Ramstein format, there's been coordinations on working on logistics, training and maintenance as well.
Fråga på Sveriges Radio på svenska. Hur ska ni kunna lösa mixen med produktionskapaciteten att gå in för det nya Norge? Med tanke på att Ukraina är av med betydligt fler granater än vad man har möjlighet att producera. Både till exempel i Europa.
Ja. Grunden handlar ju om att öka produktionskapaciteten och det kommer att kosta en del pengar och det får man vara ödmjuk inför och då handlar det om dels så handlar bra ramavtal och dels så handlar det ju om att den försvarsindustri som vi har i Europa har ju varit konstruerad i huvudsak för fredstida förhållanden. Nu befinner vi oss i krig. Då kan det handla om att den industrin till exempel måste upphandla insatsvaror, behöva lagerhålla dem och vi kommer att behöva teckna försörjningssäkerhetsavtal både på nationell grund men ibland som vi har gjort på nordisk grund och inte minst genom finkalibrig ammunition, det som heter Nordac och gemensamma företag men också på europeisk grund och också inom ramen för NATO. Så det sker ett brett omfattande samarbete. Ja, men det är ju därför det är viktigt att vi kommer igång så snabbt som möjligt och det är väl för mitt huvudbudskap idag att jag hoppas att vi kan hitta lösningar som är pragmatiska och effektiva och det är det som är det viktiga för att kunna leverera resultatet för ytterst för att kunna säkra att Ukraina kan vinna kriget.
Med tanke på de behoven som finns i Estland pratar om 4 miljarder. Finns det behov av att redan nu prata om att utöka finansieringen för EP?
Ja, det är ju högerrepresentanten har föreslagit det är ju att använda 1 miljard och möjligtvis ytterligare 1 miljard. Vi gjorde ju en förstärkning av EPF:en i december där vi gick upp med 2 miljarder. Så får vi se hur diskussionerna går kring bordet, om det ska vara nya additionella pengar eller ifall vi ska då använda den befintliga top-upen som det heter för detta. Vad jag tror är att det är viktigt att vi agerar snabbt och agilt och pragmatiska så vi ser vart vi kan komma fram. Ja, tack.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So everyone, the HRVP is a bit late because of the weather. He's traveling from central Stockholm, so he will be in about 10-15 minutes.
Nej, men jag insåg precis när jag skulle ställa min fråga. Ställer man på svenska måste man ställa den på engelska. Därav så använder jag den. Ja, ja, bra. Det vet jag. Ja, nej, men det är ingen fara.
So the delay is a little bit worse than expected. So when the HRVP arrives, he will go directly to the handshake, and then we will start with the Ukrainian minister, and he will come for a doorstep, and HRVP will do his doorstep at the end before the meeting starts. And we'll start approximately past. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we won't be able to get everyone through before 9, so... That's right. No.
We're going to start. The High Representative has not arrived yet, but we're going to start with a handshake from Ukraine. So we're going to start with the handshakes now, and the doorsteps will follow. Handshakes are over here, and then they will come this way. Ukraine will come any minute.
Erik. Hur stora försäljningen pratar vi om?
You can, so Ukraine is coming now. We will start without HVP.
Good morning, Minister.
Good morning.
You've got a few moments for us?
Yes.
Okay, Oleksi will start.
Right here.
Oleksi will start. So,
Good morning. Thank you for your attention. And I come to Stockholm the second time. The first time I was fresh appointed minister. It was in 2021. And you know that we have full-scale invasion time this year. And I will discuss with my partners, my friends, ministers of defense of EU, our priorities. And again, priority number one, it means air defense systems and also ammunition, and again ammunition. That's why I support strictly the initiative of my friend Hanna Pevkur about the 1 million ammunitions for 155 millimeter artillery systems, and exactly more tubes for that, and infantry fighting vehicles for Iron Fist, more tanks like Leopard, and other tanks of this tank coalition, and we will be ready for counteroffensive.
Minister, are you concerned that the EU is moving too slowly and that the Estonian proposal is being changed in a way that will make it slower and more bureaucratic?
You know that I'm a lawyer, so for me as a lawyer, the procedure and bureaucratic rules is good. But during the wartime, time is vitally, and as Jens Stoltenberg told us in Brussels, last meeting of Rammstein, that time saves lives. That's why we need to move forward as soon as possible. For me, it's a little bit strange story because this story is nothing with us. And I think that investigation of official authorities will describe every details, because it's like a compliment for our special forces, but this is not our activity.
Are you not concerned that this story making headlines could weaken your view of support to Ukraine?
Sorry?
Are you not concerned that could lead to the weakening of your support to Ukraine?
No, I'm not concerned. I think that everything would be okay.
On the munition, José has proposed 1 billion to buy some munition. Do you think it is enough? Do you want?
Not. It's not enough because we need 1 million ammunition. I mean 1 million rounds, and approximately it should be 4 billion euros.
I comment also
yes,
that. So
yes, we need more. So normally it would be nice to have 90 or thousands or 100,000 per month to be ready to deter enemies and be ready to go with the counteroffensive campaign. And we need 155 plus 105 also for light cannons as well.
So maybe I can add to our initiative. So first and foremost, I would like to thank also Oleksi that he is here in person to tell us why Ukraine needs at least 1 million rounds as soon as possible. Secondly, for us as ministers here, what we need and what I hope to have today is a political consensus or political agreement that yes, we will do 1 million rounds as soon as possible. This is why we all know that we need fresh money. And this is, one of the most important things also to get today, that, we cannot only hope that we have something in European peace facility or in some other instruments. We need fresh money and we need it quickly. So, because, probably all of us have seen this terrible, events in Ukraine regarding one Ukrainian soldier where he was killed, and definitely we don't have the luxury to say today to Ukraine that we will not give you 1 million rounds. We have to say it, and when the political consensus to give 1 million rounds is there, then it's up to the European Commission and High Representative Borrell to find the proper solution. And this is why we are happy to help also European Commission to find this best initiative the best solution how to deliver these 1 million rounds as soon as possible to Ukraine.
Minister, should that then be limited to Europe in terms of supply, European Union countries, or should the initiative be open to other countries that may be able to supply ammunition quickly, like the UK, the US?
You know, I believe for Ukraine there is no difference. Is it coming from only from the European Union countries also, or together with NATO countries, or together with the other allies? Also in the Ramstein format, we have 54 countries around the table. So the point and the aim is to get as soon as possible to Ukraine 1 million rounds of 155. Of course, the initiative goes to the European Union because we have the instruments, we have the procurement agencies in place who can deliver this quickly. So this is why, you know, let's get this political consensus that we do it, and then we will find also all these technical details how to deliver it also.
And you have stocks and industry also. Yeah. And this country, I mean, the European Union has stocks and industry capabilities.
And also what we have to understand that when we bring this fresh money, then this will also increase the capacity of the industry. And this is what we need anyway, also for the future, that the European industries are capable of producing more shells. My proposal is very clear and simple. We need 1 million rounds. When we can get 1 million rounds for less money, very nice. When we can get something from our stocks and replenish them, this is also fine because, you know, the aim is to send 1 million rounds. And for that, the ambition has to be very high. And the ambition has to be not looking at the money, but looking at the shells. And this is why, you know, we can find different solutions, and this is already a bureaucratic debate. And one thing I don't want to see is that we are digging into the bureaucracy and not looking at what is the aim. And the aim is 1 million rounds for Ukraine. And this is why the ambition, also money-wise, has to be there where it probably is objectively looking that it needs at least 4 billion to collect this 1 million rounds.
Boris,
okay. Sorry. Well, I don't have any additional comments at the moment, so you know, I'm here for the 1 million rounds.
Okay, thank you.
Here?
Right
here.
here.
Okay.
No, it's
for German media.
Okay, can you stand on the spot then?
Drei Herren, da kann ich auch nicht mehr vor. Guten Morgen, meine Damen und Herren. Das ist mein erstes Treffen in diesem Format hier in Stockholm, tief verschneit. Ganz im Zeichen ein Jahr Kriegs gegen die Ukraine, den Putin begonnen hat, und aktuelle Entwicklungen deuten ja leider nicht darauf hin, dass wir mit einem schnellen Ende des Krieges rechnen dürfen. Deswegen ist die Unterstützung der Ukraine natürlich auch heute hier das Thema in jeder Beziehung. Die Unterstützung muss weitergehen. Wir müssen sie dort, wo es möglich ist, eben auch ausweiten und vor allem dynamisieren. Und das heißt eben auch, gerade das Stichwort Munition spielt eine zentrale Rolle, weil wenn wir Waffensysteme liefern, dann muss es auch darum gehen, Munition zu liefern. Das liegt auf der Hand. Die europäischen Mitgliedstaaten sind der zweitgrößte Unterstützer und Deutschland auf dem europäischen Kontinent der größte Unterstützer der Ukraine. Ich will nur daran erinnern, Herr Borrell wird es auch gesagt haben, allein aus dem European Peace Facility sind bereits 3,6 Milliarden Euro an Unterstützungsleistungen geflossen. Das ist sehr, sehr viel. Aber wir stehen jetzt vor der Herausforderung, dass Munition geliefert werden muss. Kapazitäten müssen hochgefahren werden. Dazu ist es erforderlich, dass die Industrie die richtigen Entscheidungen trifft und schon teilweise getroffen hat. Das muss man sagen. Sie sind abendlich darauf eingestellt und fahren die Kapazitäten hoch. Aber es gibt viele technische Anforderungen an Munition, die niemand außer Kraft setzen kann. Von daher wird die Produktion von Munition immer auch Zeit beschaffen. Aber wir werden Zeit brauchen. Aber wir werden heute über dieses Thema auch ausführlich reden. Es geht um die Initiative von Herrn Borrell zur gemeinsamen Beschaffung auf europäischer Ebene, zur Initiative der Europäischen Union zur Stärkung und Ausweitung von Produktionskapazitäten, gegebenenfalls auch durch Förderung. Das ist richtig und notwendig, darf aber nicht darüber hinwegtäuschen, dass wir in den nächsten Wochen und Monaten die Engpässe bewältigen müssen. Alles, was darüber hinaus Wirkung entfaltet, ist gut und richtig. Aber aktuell muss es vor allem darum gehen, Bestände zusammenzubieten und zu liefern, was immer wir können. und im Angesicht unserer eigenen Verteidigungs- und Bündnisfähigkeit liefern können. Wir sind nach wie vor sehr stark unterwegs im Thema Ausbildung und ich kann Ihnen mitteilen, dass wir gerade überfahren haben, dass 18 deutschen Leopard 2 A6-Panzer und die 3 portugiesischen noch in diesem Monat alle gemeinsam in die Ukraine zusammen mit ausgebildeten Besatzungen dann ins Einsatzgebiet kommen können. Wir erleben sehr deutlich seit einigen Wochen, wie seit einigen Monaten noch mal mehr die Unterstützung hier erlebbar wird, auch gerade beim Thema Ausbildung. Deutschland ist eine der größten Ausbildungsnationen. Wir werden alleine bis Ende dieses Jahres weit über 3000 ukrainische Soldatinnen und Soldaten in speziellen Formaten ausgebildet haben. Auch das ist eine wichtige Unterstützung für die Ukraine, genauso wie die Ausbildung der so enorm wichtigen Feldwebel in einer Armee. Das auch steht sehr im Vordergrund. Wir werden heute mit Jens Stoltenberg über das eine oder andere in diesem Kontext auch reden, natürlich auch über die Munitionsbeschaffung. Und wir werden sicherlich auch wieder darüber reden und deutlich machen, dass es keine Konkurrenz zwischen der Europäischen Union und der NATO gibt. Beides gehört eng zusammen, beides ergänzt sich und beides baut aufeinander auf. Wir sind Teil desselben großen Ganzen. Während die NATO nun mal ein Grundpfeiler und Sicherheitsgarant in Europa oder Europas ist und bleibt, müssen und werden auch wir Europäer selbst in den nächsten Jahren mehr Eigenverantwortung übernehmen müssen. Und auch dafür rechne ich heute mit einem klaren Signal neben all den Erklärungen und Umsetzung dessen, was wir tun müssen für die Ukraine. Vielen Dank. Ich glaube, wir müssen hier auf zwei verschiedene Zeitlinien diskutieren. Das eine ist, was passiert in den nächsten Wochen. Das ist vor allem der Blick in unsere Depots, die Gespräche mit Partnerländern, wo kann noch Munition schnell beschafft werden und ausgeliefert werden. Der zweite Schritt ist, und das muss zeitgleich passieren, wie schnell kann Industriekapazitäten hochfahren und wer von den Partnerländern hat Rahmenverträge, die erweitert werden können. Deutschland hat solche Rahmenverträge, die können wir bis zu einem bestimmten Prozentsatz ausweiten. Wir sind auch bereit dazu, andere Länder damit reinzunehmen, das ist überhaupt keine Frage. Nur an der Stelle muss man eben auch der Wahrheit ins Auge schauen. Allein dadurch, dass wir alle mehr bestellen, gibt es noch nicht mehr. Es muss erst produziert werden, bevor es geliefert werden kann. Und damit sind wir bei einer dritten Zeitebene, die richtet sich eben aus auf die mittelfristige Zukunft. Wir müssen in Zukunft besser aufgestellt sein. Das hilft der Ukraine jetzt nicht, aber dafür sind ja die beiden anderen Maßnahmen da. In der Zukunft müssen wir besser aufgestellt sein, Munition koordinierter, gemeinsamer zu bestellen, zu produzieren. Wir müssen zu Standardisierungen kommen, zu mehr Interoperabilität, Kompatibilität von Munition. Das sind aber Aufgaben für die Zukunft. Jetzt gilt es, die beiden ersten Schritte.
Die Ukraine sagt, sie braucht 300.000 Geschosse pro Monat. Kann die nicht liefern?
Das werden wir gleich in den Beratungen sehen, wie viel wir tatsächlich können. Aber wir müssen auch mal festhalten, Länder, Mitgliedstaaten produzieren nicht selber Munition. Das macht die Produktion, das macht die Industrie. Und bis vor einem Jahr gab es keinen großen Markt für Munition dieser Kaliber. Und auch die Industrie braucht ihre Zeit und ihre Entscheidungsprozesse. Jetzt läuft das an und ich gehe davon aus, dass das schnell hochgefahren ist.
Ist da eine Zeitungsbericht zufolge, dass
Ich kenne die Berichte über diese Recherche. Ich habe das mit großem Interesse gelesen. Und wir müssen ja deutlich unterscheiden, ob es eine ukrainische Gruppe war, also einen ukrainischen Auftrag gewesen sein könnte oder eine pro-ukrainische, ohne Wissen der Regierung. Aber ich warne davor, einige Schlüsse zu ziehen. Es gibt auch Hinweise, die nicht von mir sind, aber Meinungen von Experten. Ich mache sie mir nicht zu eigen, aber ich will darauf hinweisen, dass auch darüber gesprochen wird, es könnte auch eine sogenannte False Operation gewesen sein. Das wäre nicht das erste Mal in der Geschichte solcher Ereignisse. Von daher hüte ich mich davor, vor eine Geschichte. Jetzt sind wir wieder im Bereich der hypothetischen Fragen. Ich soll jetzt auf die Frage antworten, was passieren würde, wenn diese Recherche zuträfe und beweisbar wäre. Das sind mir zu viele Konditionierungen. Ganz ehrlich, ich würde so eine Frage gerne beantworten, wenn ich etwas Belastbares weiß, alles andere zu geben. machen wir den Begriff Kriegswirtschaft definitiv nicht zu eigen. Die Europäische Union, Deutschland, wir sind nicht im Krieg. Kriegswirtschaft heißt, dass wir alles der Produktion von Waffen und Munition unterordnen. Das wäre wirklich ein völlig fatales Signal. Und ob die Industrie auf Kriegswirtschaft umstellt, diese Forderung will ich mich jetzt nicht ohne weiteres anschließen. Die Industrie hat ein Interesse daran, auf diesem Markt auch ihre Gewinne zu machen, so makaber das klingt. Ich gehe davon aus, dass sie alles tun, um die Produktionskapazitäten hochzufahren, um die Produktion auch entsprechend ausliefern zu können. Wir sind darüber im Gespräch mit der Industrie schon seit einiger Zeit. Ich gehe davon aus, dass das funktioniert. Und Geld, so bitter das ist in solchen Fragen erfreulicherweise, muss man dann auch wieder sagen, nicht das Hauptproblem. Entscheidend ist, dass wir die richtigen Maßnahmen haben. Well, I just have a question of my colleague. I would hesitate to give a clear analyze to that research of the journalists. I would rather wait whether it can be proved or not. What is more important, even at the moment, is that we, together with NATO and countries around the Baltic Sea and the north of the EU, and come together and do everything to protect our critical infrastructure in the sea. Well, I can imagine everything, but depends on our negotiations today and in the next week. And all of we are just in the beginning of the discussion, so give us some time. The role of the European Union, of the European Peace Facility, the role of every member state of the European Union. This is what we have to discuss today. I'd rather prefer to tell my opinion first in the discussions and then come to Okay, thank you very much.
Guten Morgen, grüß Gott, gerne. Ich glaube, gemeinsame Beschaffungen sind für uns alle wichtig, aber das Allerwichtigste ist, dass wir in Europa auch die entsprechenden Kapazitäten dafür schaffen. Das steht außer Zweifel. Da geht es nicht nur um die Unterstützung der Ukraine, sondern auch um den Eigenbedarf. Und wir haben für diese gemeinsame Beschaffung meiner persönlichen Meinung nach im Wege der Europäischen Verteidigungsagentur auch schon unser Interesse kundgetan. Ich glaube, das wird genau die Frage sein, die Sie stellen, dass wir die entsprechende Industrie auch in die Lage versetzen, dem nachzukommen, egal welche Beschlüsse wir fassen. Die Grundlage muss geschaffen werden, dass wir innerhalb von Europa auch wieder eigenständig werden. Das wird die wichtigste Aufgabe sein. Ja, das werden wir sehen. Das wird ja auch heute das Thema sein und die entsprechenden Beschlüsse werden dann in den nächsten Wochen gefasst werden. Ja, da teile ich die Meinung meines deutschen Kollegen, dass man zunächst einmal das auch genau prüfen muss, was da dahinter steht. Nein, noch nicht. Danke Ihnen. Dankeschön.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, all. So tomorrow is a very important day for the 27 member states and, of course, for the defense minister. Of course, we will speak about many things, but the main topic will be Ukraine. We are at a decisive moment now for our support to Ukraine. It is absolutely mandatory that we move towards a sort of war economy mode in terms of supply and defense industry. We need to do whatever it takes to supply Ukraine, especially with ammunition. And in this perspective, together with Joseph Borrell, we will present a plan with 3 pillars. First, we want to make sure that we'll be able to provide everything we can with our existing stocks. Second, we need definitely to make sure that we can increase drastically our capacity to produce more in Europe, and especially to ramp up our industry of defense. And third, we will be ready to put also some money from our EU budget to speed up the ramping up of our defense industry. This being said, I want also to make sure that the financial sector will understand how crucial it is now to support our defense industry, including the EIB. And finally, I will myself come and visit all the defense industry in Europe to make sure that everyone is well aligned towards this objective in the following weeks and days. Thank you very much.
Commissioner, can I ask a question about joint procurement? Do you think that European joint procurement efforts should be open to non-EU countries if that gets ammunition to Ukraine quickly?
Of course, the priority is to make sure that we will be able to provide what is necessary for Ukraine. We believe that our defense industry, as long as we provide a clear vision of what is needed, can fulfill this requirement. But of course, we will have to evaluate the situation and take the right decision if it is necessary. The priority is to provide what is necessary for Ukraine and to ramp up also our industry, because we know that in order to make sure that our member states are ready to give more from their stocks, in parallel, they need to understand exactly how our defense industry will be able to compensate. Thank you.
We have media reports now about Nord Stream attacks, maybe it was from Ukrainian thinkers or something like that. Wouldn't it be a complete disaster in terms of confirmation?
Well, we may discuss it, but I don't have any comments. This is not exactly what I read myself. It was much more, let's say, balanced from what I understand in the German report, but I don't have any more comments to do at this stage. I was very clear. I said mode. That's why maybe it's important. I said that the defense industry should change probably their way to work, and this is why I say mode, or economy mode. Thank you very much.
So we're waiting for clarification from Hungary and ABP. Actually, today there's a delegation from Hungary in the parliament. They had already the first talk there more to come today. So hopefully these talks this week move our process forward. We're very correct. So people have to go through this.
Good morning.
Good morning. I would like to thank the Swedish Minister Paul for receiving us and organizing this informal meeting of defense ministers. It's an informal meeting, but it's going to be a very important meeting. We have on the table important decisions to be taken. Today, not formally, but politically, we will provide guidance for the next Jumbo meeting with the Foreign Affairs Ministers. And the issue is how to support better, quicker and stronger Ukraine. The war in Ukraine continues raging. There is a fierce combat and heavy fight. Russia continues bombing and destroying all civilian infrastructures with a lot of casualties from their side. And Ukraine needs more ammunition. The issue is how to provide the ammunition that Ukraine needs to continue defending. I presented a proposal. The ministers will discuss. The proposal has been built together with the External Action Service, with the European Defence Agency, which I have the honor to chair, and the Commission. And it has three pillars. First, to provide ammunition quickly from the existing stocks. We are talking about weeks. So we need to use what we already have, what the European armies already have on their stockpiles and on the command that they have passed to the industry. Second, to ask for more, going together, a common procurement of all armies that wanted to do that all together in order to provide part of this common procurement to Ukraine, medium term. In the longer term, or not so longer, but certainly not for tomorrow, increase the defense capacity of our industry. We cannot talk seriously about our capacity to have an autonomous strategic responsibility if we don't have enough defense capability in our industrial side. And on that we are working together with the Commission, and we will see how we can increase this capacity. Ukraine is not the only issue in the table. We have to take care also of many other geopolitical challenges. We'll discuss about the situation in the Sahel, for example. We don't have to forget of other issues around the world, but Ukraine is very high in the agenda. And I don't want to forget that today is the Women's Day. And on this specific occasion, we have approved a package of sanctions covering a wide range of circumstances where it has been abuses and violations of human rights, especially women's rights. And we sanctioned a set of personalities coming from the Taliban's, 2 Taliban's ministers, the education minister, and the minister in charge of protecting the virtue and fighting against the vice, on Russia, on Myanmar, on Syria. I will provide the list afterwards in the press conference. It's important to use our human rights sanction regime to sanction the people that are committing abuses and violations of human rights and using gender violence as a weapon in many places of the world, in Iran also. So that's our working program for today. I said it's going to be a very important council. Let's see how the ministers respond to my proposal.
High Representative, the Estonian proposal had a very specific amount of money attached, and the Estonians are also saying that needs to be separate money. It can't be money that's already been pledged to the European Peace Facility. Do you agree with that assessment?
Well, money doesn't come from the sky. That's not because one member state is claiming that we need to have more money, that the money will appear by miracle. We have the resources that we have. And the first thing to do is to use what we have. If member states are ready to provide more, I will be happy. But today, I will ask to provide as much as they want. But today, let's be realistic and pragmatic. Don't discuss about the infinity. Discuss about the things that can be adopted today. One thing are good wishes, another thing is practical realities. European Peace Facility is ready to mobilize all its resources. For the first pillar, for transferring existing munition, we are ready to finance with 1,000 million euros. For the second pillar, I don't want to advance a figure, but it's also an important figure. And remember that the European Peace Facility is paying 60%. The other 40% has to be in charge of the member states. So 60% of, if 1,000 is 60%, if 2,000 is 60%, you can multiply, and it's not so far away from the 4,000.
Commissioner was talking about the war economy mode. How do you want to convince, for example, nuclear countries like Austria, which is not sending lethal material right now to Ukraine, to support it?
Austria has a neutrality on its constitution, and nobody is asking Austria or Ireland to abandon its posture. It's perfectly compatible that they can continue supporting financially. We know and they know that their money is not going to be used for lethal equipment. Their neutrality will be fully respected.
What you say on the new findings that pro-Ukraine group could have committed the Nord Stream?
Well, I cannot comment on things that I don't have clear evidence and information.
What amount of the second part?
Sorry?
What amount for the second part of your project, for the ramp-up of the industry? How much do you need? How much is possible to put on such a project as a principle?
To ramp up the capacity of the European industry, this is something in which the Commission has to provide financing. The European Defence Agency has not financial resources for that. So the three pillars go together, you know. If I am asking member states to provide Ukraine with their stockpiles, they have to have the insurance that this stockpile will be renewed. I give, expecting that I will get more in the future. The Ukrainians need it now. Member states, happily for them, they are not at war, so they can wait. But the three things go together. More industrial capacity means more production means more commands, more stockpiles, more provision to Ukraine.
But isn't it dangerous to almost...
Sorry?
Isn't it dangerous to almost deplete the stockpiles of ammunition, concerning what Russia can do in the future?
I don't see the danger. Why is it dangerous?
Are you sure they have the ammunition in their stockpile currently that they can spare to Ukraine?
Well, I don't know which is the level of stockpile. That we are here together.
What about the idea, High Representative, that this should be open to non-EU countries? That EU countries put in the money, but if it gets ammunition to Ukraine quickly, then it comes from non-EU countries as well as EU.
Let's say I am in charge of the European Union.
Sure, but...
Thank you.
Fantastic. Absolutely. So of course.
I remember.
Yeah.
Not personally, but I remember.
I bet you my
the promising side, you know.
This is old generation.
Super kind, yeah.
So he will be still on our report, but we need to he will be your counterpart. Not like him. And we'll see when you in the next 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks. During the month, because I want to be quick. But you will be in contact.
Colleagues, let me once again welcome you to Stockholm and the formal much to discuss today, and let me also give an extra warm welcome to our guest of course, Ukraine's Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov, in addition also to Lieutenant General Andreas Marlow and Major General Klaus Berg from Germany, and all our security landscape has gone through great changes in a short time. Things keep unstable, unpredictable, and dangerous security situation in Europe. Must be mindful that we are in the midst of a process of structural change, not necessarily unknown the phase of what's going on. Sovereign, democratic country, Ukraine has become a victim of Russia's great power ambition, and it's claimed that the right to veto other states political decision-making and its freedom. Ukraine is exercising its right of self-defense against Russian aggression on international law according to the human shock. So the development in Ukraine will be decisive for the security. The Russian war on Ukraine is not as an attack on Ukraine, it's an attack on Ukraine. The Ukrainian population is fighting for their survival, but at the same time fighting for European security, our freedom, our values. I visited Ukraine in December. I was very impressed to see how the Ukrainian armed forces have integrated different weapon systems and used them successfully fighting Russian invasion. Thank you very much, Alexis, for hosting the I was also impressed with the individual efforts and the combination of the Ukrainian soldiers and the resilience shown by the Ukrainian population. For me, it became crystal clear that our provision of military equipment makes a real difference on the battlefield. Providing our Ukrainian friends with the battle tanks, combat vehicles and artillery enables them to take the necessary steps to win this war. I am therefore proud that we as a country provide both artillery systems soon, by tanks, and also combat vehicles and infantry. The combination of these arms will strengthen Ukraine's ability to step up the process of structural change, and we must also be humble in the face of what's to come. Sovereignty and Ukraine is exercising its right to self-defense against Russian aggression. International law. But the government of Ukraine is deciding to continue the Russian war on Ukraine is not just Ukrainian population is fighting for the surveillance. I visited with the Ukrainian population. For me, it became crystal clear that our provision of military equipment is a real secret of the battle. Providing our Ukrainian friends with battle tanks, combat vehicles, and artillery enables them to take the necessary steps in this war. I am proud
Het is misschien juist erom dat hij hier zijn dochter kan doen, omdat hij een... Ze zullen het wel geregeld. Ah, wel, het is dat.
Er is een familyfoto?
Blijkbaar. Maar hij is daar niet bij, hè?
Ah, hij staat niet bij, hè?
Oh, dat is wat ik heb.
Het is niet op de planning, hè?
Hij is toch niet... Nee.
Wat?
C'est pas dans le planning?
Nee, nee.
Il n'est pas vraiment...
Ja, c'est EU. Het is niet voorzien, hè? Zo, doorstep.
Maar ik heb daar nog niet echt gehoord. Ja, ze niks had gestuurd toen deze keer.
Ja, natuurlijk. Mooi dat dat een probleem is. Er is ook nog een poolsite.
Ja, dat is een ding. Dat is een poolsite. Ja, dat is ook naar de poolsite.
Of course, thank you very much. Drei Herren, da kann ich auch nicht mehr folgen. Guten Morgen, meine Damen und Herren. Es ist mein erstes Treffen in diesem Format hier in Stockholm, tief verschneit. Ganz im Zeichen ein Jahr Kriegs gegen die Ukraine, den Putin begonnen hat. Und aktuelle Entwicklungen deuten ja leider nicht darauf hin, dass wir mit einem schnellen Ende des Krieges rechnen dürfen. Deswegen ist die Unterstützung der Ukraine natürlich auch heute hier das Top-Thema in jeder Beziehung. Die Unterstützung muss weitergehen. Wir müssen sie dort, wo es möglich ist, eben auch ausweiten und vor allen Dingen dynamisieren. Und das heißt eben auch, gerade das Stichwort Munition spielt eine zentrale Rolle, weil wenn wir Waffensysteme liefern, dann muss es auch darum gehen, Munition zu liefern. Das liegt auf der Hand. Und die europäischen Mitgliedstaaten sind der zweitgrößte Unterstützer und Deutschland auf dem europäischen Kontinent der größte Unterstützer der Ukraine. Und ich will nur daran erinnern, Herr Borrell wird es auch gesagt haben, allein aus dem European Peace Facility sind bereits 3,6 Milliarden Euro an Unterstützungsleistungen geflossen. Das ist sehr, sehr viel. Aber wir stehen jetzt vor der Herausforderung, dass Munition geliefert werden muss. Die Kapazitäten müssen hochgefahren werden. Dazu ist es erforderlich, dass die Industrie die richtigen Entscheidungen trifft und schon teilweise getroffen hat. Das muss man sagen. Sie haben sich darauf eingestellt und fahren die Kapazitäten hoch. Aber es gibt viele technische Anforderungen an Munition, die niemand außer Kraft setzen kann. Von daher wird die Produktion von Munition immer auch Zeit brauchen. Aber wir werden heute über dieses Thema auch ausführlich reden. Es geht um die Initiative von Herrn Borrell zur gemeinsamen Beschaffung auf europäischer Ebene, zur Initiativen der Europäischen Union, zur Stärkung und Ausweitung von Produktionskapazitäten, gegebenenfalls auch durch Förderung. Das ist richtig und notwendig, darf aber nicht darüber hinwegtäuschen, dass wir in den nächsten Wochen und Monaten die Engpässe bewältigen müssen. Alles, was darüber hinaus Wirkung entfaltet, ist gut und richtig. Aber aktuell muss es vor allen Dingen darum gehen, Bestände zusammenzusuchen und zu liefern, was immer wir können und im Angesicht unserer eigenen Verteidigungs- und Bündnisfähigkeit liefern können. Wir sind nach wie vor sehr stark unterwegs im Thema Ausbildung und ich kann Ihnen mitteilen, dass ich gerade eben erfahren habe, dass die 18 deutschen Leopard 2A6 Panzer und die 3 portugiesischen noch in diesem Monat alle gemeinsam in die Ukraine zusammen mit ausgebildeten Besatzungen dann ins Einsatzgebiet kommen können. Wir erleben sehr deutlich seit einigen Wochen, wie seit einigen Monaten noch mal mehr, wie Unterstützung hier erlebbar wird, auch gerade beim Thema Ausbildung. Deutschland ist eine der größten Ausbildungsnationen. Wir werden alleine bis Ende dieses Jahres weit über 3000 ukrainische Soldatinnen und Soldaten in speziellen Formaten ausgebildet haben. Auch das eine wichtige Unterstützung für die Ukraine, genauso wie die Ausbildung der so enorm wichtigen Feldwebel in einer Armee. Das auch steht sehr im Vordergrund. Wir werden heute mit Jens Stoltenberg über das eine oder andere in diesem Kontext auch reden, natürlich auch über die Munitionsbeschaffung. Und wir werden sicherlich auch wieder darüber reden und deutlich machen, dass es keine Konkurrenz zwischen der Europäischen Union und der NATO gibt. Beides gehört eng zusammen, beides ergänzt sich und beides baut aufeinander auf. Wir sind Teile desselben großen Ganzen. Und während die NATO nun mal Grundpfeiler und Sicherheitsgarant in Europa oder Europas ist und bleibt, müssen und werden auch wir Europäer selbst in den nächsten Jahren mehr Eigenverantwortung übernehmen müssen. Und auch dafür rechne ich heute mit einem klaren Signal neben all den Erklärungen und Umsetzung dessen, was wir tun müssen für die Ukraine. Vielen Dank. Ich glaube, wir müssen hier auf 2 verschiedenen Zeitebenen diskutieren. Das eine ist, was passiert in den nächsten Wochen. Das ist vor allen Dingen der Blick in unsere Depots, die Gespräche mit Partnerländern, wo kann noch Munition schnell beschafft werden und ausgeliefert werden. Der zweite Schritt ist, und das muss zeitgleich passieren, wie schnell kann Industriekapazitäten hochfahren und wer von den Partnerländern hat Rahmenverträge, die erweitert werden können. Deutschland hat solche Rahmenverträge, die können wir bis zu einem bestimmten Prozentsatz ausweiten und wir sind auch bereit dazu, andere Länder damit reinzunehmen. Das ist überhaupt gar keine Frage. Nur an der Stelle muss man eben auch der Wahrheit ins Auge schauen. Allein dadurch, dass wir alle mehr bestellen, gibt es noch nicht mehr. Es muss erst produziert werden, bevor es geliefert werden kann. Und damit sind wir bei der dritten Zeitebene und die richtet sich eben aus auf die mittelfristige Zukunft. Wir müssen in Zukunft besser aufgestellt sein. Das hilft der Ukraine jetzt nicht, aber dafür sind ja die beiden anderen Maßnahmen da. Aber in Zukunft müssen wir besser aufgestellt sein, Munition koordinierter, gemeinsamer zu bestellen, zu produzieren. Wir müssen zu Standardisierungen kommen, zu mehr Interoperabilität, Kompatibilität von Munition. Das sind aber Aufgaben für die Zukunft. Jetzt gilt es, die beiden ersten Schritte zu machen.
Herr Minister, die Ukraine sagt, sie braucht 300.000 Geschosse pro Monat. Kann die EU so viel liefern und kommt das, was Sie jetzt beschließen wollen, eigentlich für sich?
Das werden wir gleich in den Beratungen sehen, wie viel wir tatsächlich können. Aber wir müssen noch mal festhalten, Länder, Mitgliedstaaten produzieren nicht selber Munition. Das macht die Produktion, das macht die Industrie. Und bis vor einem Jahr gab es keinen großen Markt für Munition dieser Kaliber. Und auch die Industrie braucht ihre Zeit und ihre Entscheidungsprozesse. Jetzt läuft das an und ich gehe davon aus, dass das schnell hochgefahren werden kann.
Herr Minister, einem Zeitungsbericht zufolge gibt es Hinweise dafür, dass eine ukrainische Gruppe für die Angriffe auf Nord Stream verantwortlich war. Deutschland hat dazu auch eine Untersuchung durchgeführt. Haben Sie auch solche Hinweise? Was wissen Sie darüber?
Ich kenne die Berichte über diese Recherche. Ich habe das mit großem Interesse gelesen. Und wir müssen ja deutlich unterscheiden, ob es eine ukrainische Gruppe war, also im ukrainischen Auftrag gewesen sein könnte, oder eine pro-ukrainische ohne Wissen der Regierung. Aber ich warne davor, voreilige Schlüsse zu ziehen. Es gibt auch Hinweise, die nicht von mir sind, aber Meinungen von Experten. Ich mache sie mir nicht zu eigen, aber ich will darauf hinweisen, dass auch darüber gesprochen wird, es könnte auch eine sogenannte False Operation gewesen sein. Auch das wäre nicht das erste Mal in der Geschichte solcher Ereignisse. Von daher hüte ich mich davor, voreilige Schlüsse zu ziehen.
Die Erkenntnis der Stimmung, könnten Sie sich vorstellen, dass das Einfluss dann auf die Unterstützung hat?
Jetzt sind wir wieder im Bereich der hypothetischen Fragen. Ich soll jetzt auf die Frage antworten, was passieren würde, wenn diese Recherche zuträfe und beweisbar wäre. Das sind mir zu viele Konditionierungen, ganz ehrlich. Ich würde so eine Frage gerne beantworten, wenn ich etwas Belastbares weiß. Alles andere ist Hypothese. Ich mache mir den Begriff Kriegswirtschaft definitiv nicht zu eigen. Die Europäische Union, Deutschland, wir sind nicht im Krieg. Kriegswirtschaft heißt, dass wir alles der Produktion von Waffen und Munition unterordnen. Das wäre nun wirklich ein völlig fatales Signal. Und ob die Industrie auf Kriegswirtschaft umstellt, dieser Forderung würde ich mich jetzt nicht ohne weiteres anschließen. Die Industrie hat ein Interesse daran, auf diesem Markt auch ihre Gewinne zu machen, so makaber das klingt. Ich gehe davon aus, dass sie alles tun, um die Produktionskapazitäten hochzufahren, um dann die Produktion auch entsprechend ausliefern zu können. Wir sind darüber im Gespräch mit der Industrie schon seit einiger Zeit. Ich gehe davon aus, dass das funktioniert. Und Geld, so bitter das ist in solchen Fragen erfreulicherweise, muss man dann auch wieder sagen, nicht das Hauptproblem. Entscheidend ist, dass wir die richtigen Maßnahmen einleiten. Well, I just answered the question of your colleague. I would hesitate to give a clear analysis to that research of those journalists. I would rather wait whether it can be proved or not. What is more important even at the moment is that we, together with NATO and countries around the Baltic Sea and the Northern Sea, that we come together and do everything to protect our critical infrastructure in the sea. Well, I can imagine everything. That depends on our negotiations today and during the next weeks.
How do you feel about it? Is it possible? Are you optimistic?
I'm always optimistic, as you know.
And realistic?
Well, we are just in the beginning of the discussion, so give us some time.
Do you need to buy this munition to foreign provider?
Sorry, I didn't get it.
It is possible with European money to buy this ammunition to United States, for example, to other providers outside of the European Union?
Well, this is a point of our discussions today, too. The role of the European Union, of European peace facility, the role of every member state of the European Union. This is what we have to discuss today. Well, I rather prefer to tell my opinion first in the discussions and then towards the public.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. My country, Luxembourg, was one of the first countries in the European Union that from the first day on of the aggression supported Ukraine with lethal weapons. And we are now in urgency because the next months will be decisive for this country, for Ukraine to defend itself. So we have to deliver. So there is really an urgency. So we have to take decisions this morning to really put together our forces in Europe so that we can deliver lethal weapons to Ukraine, because it's now the moment to take decisions. My country, we decided already last year, we delivered for 60% of our national budget, the defense budget, to deliver to Ukraine. So really, I think now it's not anymore time to talk, but to act. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to be here in Sweden, our good neighbor. Sweden is our closest partner when it comes to defense policy and many other areas as well. We have a lot in common. It's also good to see all the other colleagues. I spent 2 months in parental leave, but it's nice to be now back in business again. But we are living very challenging times. We still have war in the middle of Europe, unfortunately. Hopefully someday we'll start discussions how to get peace to Ukraine, but it seems that it will take time. we are discussing today how to support Ukraine. Finland has supported Ukraine with 13 military aid packages, and we are ready to do more. But we have to work together, and I'm looking forward for discussions today. We also meet representatives from NATO and United Nations, so looking forward for those discussions as well.
What do you think about...
we made this visit, but I don't have any comments. This is not exactly what I read myself.
I've read about speculations, but I don't have any facts, so difficult to speculate with that. Just what I've read about newspapers. So far, yes. When I go back home, I check my intelligence also. Do they have any other information about this? Or perhaps we'll get something today. I'm not sure.
Should change probably the way to
I think it is important that we get a very good investigation about that, and we get the facts. The sooner the better. That's the most important thing.
Minister of NATO, are you hopeful that there could be any breakthrough from the new talks with Brussels on Thursday?
Hopefully we can take a step forward. Finland and Sweden fulfill the criteria of NATO membership. So we are waiting for the ratification from Hungary and Turkey. Actually, today there's a delegation from Hungary in Finnish Parliament, and they had already their first talks there, and more to come today. So hopefully these talks this week move our process forward. It would be very important to get to the goal during this spring. Well, the sooner the better. Thank you. Well, I meet my Swedish counterpart quite often. We've already discussed with Mr. Jonsson. Actually, I will have a bilateral with our colleague my colleague from Hungary. So of course, we'll talk about what's the situation with the ratification process.
Which level are you going to take to headquarters or
It's a civil servant delegation, but high level anyway. Thank you.
Do you need to buy this machine to foreign provider, or you can stand here and wait for it? It's possible with European money to buy the machine to United States or other provider outside of the European Union.
Well, this is a point of our discussions today too. The role of the European Union, of the European Peace Facility, the role of every member state is provided by the European Union. This is what we have to discuss today.
That's your opinion? You are in favor?
I rather prefer to tell my opinion first in the discussions and then tell the public.
Okay, thank you very much for your questions. Have a nice evening.
My country, Luxembourg, was one of the first countries that opposed the end of the aggression, supported Ukraine with lethal weapons. And we are now in the earth because the next months we will be discussing
Muito bom dia. Esta reunião informal de ministros da Defesa vai concentrar-se muito no apoio à Ucrânia. Vamos analisar de novo as circunstâncias no terreno e vamos discutir a forma como podemos melhor e mais rapidamente apoiar a Ucrânia, designadamente com a questão do fornecimento de munições de artilharia, uma necessidade urgente e relativamente à qual temos que nos organizar para poder fornecer à Ucrânia esse tipo de munições. Vamos discutir uma proposta que, para além desse pilar do fornecimento imediato de munições, a partir, enfim, dos estoques que cada país tem já disponível,
poder fazer compras conjuntas. Essa modalidade de ação está também prevista, vamos falar disso, bem como da necessidade de reforçar as indústrias de defesa para que possam produzir aquilo que é necessário para apoiar a Ucrânia contra esta invasão brutal, ilegal da Rússia.
A proposta mudou ligeiramente em relação à inicial. Há pouco o governo ucraniano falava da necessidade de 1 milhão de munições de grande calibre para continuar a resistir à mão russa. Até onde Portugal está disponível para ir ao encontro desta proposta?
Bem, vamos esperar, ver um pouco aquilo que está a ser pensado, a ser discutido. Nós temos participado neste processo de reflexão sobre as aquisições conjuntas. É uma proposta que vem desde há vários meses a ser desenvolvida e que nos envolve a nossa indústria nacional também, e estamos de acordo, já o dissemos, com os princípios deste tipo de apoio, a partir, designadamente, do Mecanismo Europeu de Apoio à Paz, que é um fundo disponível para apoiar este tipo de aquisições conjuntas. Portanto, estamos disponíveis, aumentamos já a nossa contribuição para este Mecanismo Europeu de Apoio à Paz e vamos analisando as possibilidades e aquilo que seja também o resultado da conversa aqui no Conselho. Bom, a proposta, de uma forma geral, sim. Os detalhes, as modalidades, a própria dimensão do financiamento estão ainda a ser analisados.
Como é que isto será preciso dinheiro fresco para pagar este armamento para o Ucrânia? Este armamento 1 milhão de munições, diz que custam 4 milhões de euros. Como é que isto se vai fazer?
Repito, vamos avaliar, perceber qual é exatamente a modalidade de financiamento e aquilo que cada país poderá fazer. Por enquanto ainda é cedo para falar disso.
Nesta manhã, e um bocadinho em sua área da reunião, há aquela notícia sobre a possibilidade de ter sido um grupo ucraniano carregado a tentar o Nord Stream. Tem informações sobre isso? Parece-me que são informações terríveis.
Li nas notícias, como todos, e não tenho nada a comentar, uma vez que há investigações em curso e, portanto, não vale a pena comentar nada. Não posso e não devo comentar. É assim.
Vai aproveitar este momento aqui em entregues à Ucrânia, porque se mantém o calendário, ou seja, se os tanques vão chegar à Ucrânia até ao final deste mês.
Sim, esse é naturalmente um dos temas de que falarei, porque tem a ver com a nossa ajuda à Ucrânia. Esta é uma ajuda que é muito significativa e posso informar desde já que os 3 carros de combate Leopard 2A6 que nós demos à Ucrânia estão já na Alemanha. E estão em boas condições operacionais, estão a ser, ajustados para depois serem entregues em conjunto com os agora 18 carros de combate alemães. Até ao final do mês. É essa a ideia. É isso mesmo. É esse o plano. Esperemos que seja possível fazê-lo. A visita dos técnicos alemães, para além de coordenar este movimento que tínhamos planeado, é também uma visita em que são, vistos os nossos carros de combate. É uma inspeção técnica, uma vez que o que combinámos foi que teríamos esse apoio também da Alemanha, que são o fabricante para a manutenção dos nossos Leopard. Diria até acelerar a manutenção prevista, porque nós temos essa manutenção dos carros de combate prevista, ela faz parte inclusivamente da Lei de Programação Militar, mas enfim, podemos acelerar e mais rapidamente ter os restantes que não estavam operacionais, alguns deles em condições, enfim, de enfrentar esta nova situação em que nos encontramos. Muito obrigada, até logo.
Because we do it more than 12 hours a day, six